You know, overcoming struggle and dealing with the BS.com that is inevitably going to arrive when you make the decision to be an entrepreneur is really not a topic that we broach enough, right? Because it's not sexy. Let's be real, right? Most of the content, videos, pictures, et cetera, you're going to consume out in the social media world is all about happiness, positivity, right? It's about reflecting the best you and focusing on all things positive and having those good feelings and positive expectations about the work you're involved in. But we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the fact that challenges do occur, right? And turbulence happens. And what I want to encourage individuals to understand, if you're an entrepreneur, you should expect it, right? You should expect it. And I think this is the one thing that throws people off more than anything else. You have a lot of individuals out there who are embarking upon entrepreneurship for the first time, and it's easy to assume because of all the images and the information being thrown at you that somehow entrepreneur is going to solve all your problems. And it's really not, right? It's not the stuff that you see on television. It's not stuff that you see highlighted. There are trials and tribulations associated with making decisions to strike out on your own and build something. And so one of the biggest mistakes people make is just not anticipating that there's going to be turbulence. Life challenges are going to occur. Challenges with family are going to occur. Challenges with friends are going to occur. Car accidents happen. The unexpected is going to happen. The one constant in the world is the fact that there's not going to be anything constant, right? You're going to be constantly confronted with overcoming challenges and change. And so, look, this turbulence is something you should expect, partly because if you make a decision to be an entrepreneur and you make a decision to level up in different areas of life, you've basically made a decision to change your attitudes, to change your behaviors, to change the actions and the thought processes that you've adopted. Because those actions, those mindsets, that thought process that you currently have now, these things made an appointment with you for where you're at today. And if you want to set different appointments, if you want to have different outcomes, you're going to have to do different things. You got to speak differently. You're going to have to conduct yourself differently. You're going to have different mindsets and spend your time differently. And look, let's be real. When you start behaving differently, that's going to upset people around you, right? People who are accustomed to seeing you a certain way, people who are accustomed to viewing you a certain way, people who have their own concept of who you are and what you're all about. That's going to disturb and that's going to disrupt them. And I ain't just talking about your peers. I'm talking about your close friends and your family members. You're going to get responses from people that you did not anticipate when you make the decision to level up in life and start doing things differently. Because in order to, once again, make those different appointments, right, to get to a higher level, you're going to have to behave and conduct yourself different. So you should expect that. That's part of the turbulence. And we don't talk about that enough, but that's going to be part of the turbulence. That's going to be part of your challenge you're going to have to overcome. You know, it's easy to get comfortable in certain routines. It's easy to get comfortable in certain habits, right? And so there's going to be turbulence there. You're going to have a lot of internal turbulence. You're going to have a lot of internal stress, right? Because you're going to have to disrupt your routines. Your sleeping patterns may change. What you eat, your diet may change. How you spend your time may change. You may have to give up some things to go up. And that's going to cause turbulence with your family and friends, but also internally in terms of yourself as well. You're going to have to behave and get involved in new activities, right? Adopt different modus operandi, if you will. You're going to move differently. And that's going to be uncomfortable too. No different than someone who hasn't ran a mile in 4 or 5 years, stepping out the door and trying to run 5 miles right out the gate. At the end of that 5-mile run or that attempt, you're going to be very sore and uncomfortable, right? It's going to be no different. You're going to have to exercise muscles that you perhaps haven't exercised in a long time or that you may have never exercised. And so just like you'd anticipate soreness there, you're going to have some psychological, mental, physical fatigue associated with these changes you need to make. And so what I want to encourage people to do is accept the fact that turbulence is just par for the course, right? It's part of the deal. But, as a mentor of mine has said time and time again, look, in entrepreneurship, you're going to get squeezed sometime, but you only have to get it right once, and the juice will be worth the squeeze, right? Being successful, living a life of satisfaction, whatever that means to you, having the things that you want, feeling fulfilled, knowing that you're achieving your purpose, whatever that means to you, it's worth the squeeze. So, with that being said, everyone, I celebrate success in advance.